Next on the news, she's been kicked out of her classroom for refusing to remove a crucifix.
A Catholic teacher is battling a Connecticut school system so she can freely express her faith in the classroom. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll have that story coming up.
A new statue of the soon-to-be newest saint. We are counting down the days until Carlo Acutis' canonization. It's in Assisi, but the artist has a connection to the Diocese of Brooklyn. Plus, Ukraine celebrates its Independence Day as war rages on. Pope Leo XIV's prayers and the tributes pouring in around the globe. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Kids and teachers across the country counting down the days before heading back to school. But for one Connecticut teacher, she was actually taken out of the classroom because of a forbidden display of faith. Currents News' Katie Vasquez has the story.
Being a teacher is all Marisol Arroyo Castro ever wanted to do growing up.
I love everything about it. There's nothing not to love.
And it's a job she did for more than 30 years until December 2024, when administration at D. Loretto Elementary and Middle School in New Britain, Connecticut, took issue with this crucifix hanging in her classroom.
He said, I'm gonna need you to take it down. And to me, that was like a shock. It's like telling me to take down the picture of my father or the picture of my grandson.
At first, Marisol agreed to hide it out of sight, but the Catholic says it was too hard to bear.
I put it underneath the table and I just started to cry. And I felt like I was betraying God.
Marisol was moved to a non-teaching role in the district. The Consolidated School District of New Britain claims they have attempted to reach an accommodation with Marisol that respects her faith. In a statement, the superintendent said, "Our responsibility as a public school district is to provide a learning environment that respects the rights and beliefs of all students. We will continue to follow legal guidance throughout this process and remain committed to upholding both the law and the values of inclusion, neutrality, and respect for all." First Liberty Institute, the largest legal organization in the country dedicated to defending religious liberty for all Americans, is trying to get her back in the classroom.
It's not a problem for kids to see the people that, are teaching them or coaching them being religious.
And this educator hopes it will allow others to express their beliefs freely.
The Constitution is not there to tell us not to have our religion, but it is there to protect our religion. I mean, the Pilgrims came to this country for religious freedom.
They're waiting for a judge's decision in a preliminary injunction and are hopeful that Marisol will be back teaching this upcoming school year. Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
Catholic schools in the Diocese of Brooklyn are committed to forming their students' body, mind, and soul. But if you need any more reasons to pick a Catholic school, listen to this video by the superintendent of Diocese of Brooklyn Schools, Deacon Kevin McCormick.
When you're a parent, you have a lot of things on your mind. How do you take care of your kid in this terribly fractured world? Where are they going to go to school may be the most important question you ask. You're obviously going to look for a place that has great academics and all the extracurriculars that you would expect in a school. But what a Catholic school does is, on top of all that, it gives us a center of faith. It helps us to realize that God is at the center of all we do, and it gives your child an imagination to see that grace in everything we do.
To enroll your child in a Catholic school, just visit CatholicSchoolsBQ.org or call 718-965-7380 for more information. And if you need help picking the right Catholic school for your child, the tablet has you covered. This week, the paper has a special pull-out section highlighting the amazing schools and academies throughout Brooklyn and Queens. And for our 8th grade readers, you can learn all about the excellent Catholic high schools that will prepare you to get into the college of your dreams. Close to 300 parishioners came together in Rosedale, Queens on Sunday to celebrate the feast day of their parish patron, St. Pius X. Bishop Robert Brennan celebrated the bilingual Mass, the prayers in Creole and English, honoring the 20th century Pope, who reportedly died over worries about the beginning of World War I. At the Mass in Queens, parishioners were invited to venerate a relic of St. Pius, connecting them to their patron and their bishop during this special celebration. Catholics around the world are getting ready for the canonization of Blessed Carlo Acutis, but before the teen becomes the church's first millennial saint, a statue of him was unveiled in Assisi. Titled Saint Carlo at the Cross, the 11-foot-tall bronze statue depicts the young teen at the foot of the crucified Christ, holding a laptop depicting the sacred vessels for Holy Communion. You probably know the artist who made it, Timothy Schmalz, who created iconic sculptures that have also passed through the Diocese of Brooklyn, like the immigrant sculpture called Angels Unawares. On the same day of his canonization, Currents News will be airing a Carlo Acutis special celebrating the life and legacy of God's influencer. Just tune in Sunday, September 7th at our usual time, 7 p.m., right here on Currents News. This weekend, Pope Leo XIV made repeated calls for peace. On Friday, he implored all Catholics to take part in a day of fasting and prayer to end all wars around the world. Then on Sunday, he singled out the struggling people of Ukraine.
Oggi ci uniamo ai nostri fratelli ucraini, i quali, con iniziativa spirituale, preghiera mondiale per l'Ucraina, chiedono che il Signore doni la pace al loro martoriato paese.
Sunday also marked Ukraine's 34 years of independence from the Soviet Union. That same day, the pontiff sent a letter to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. In the Independence Day message, which Zelenskyy shared online, Pope Leo assured the leader of his prayers for the people suffering from the war in Ukraine and again made a plea for peace. Zelenskyy also received letters from other world leaders, including President Donald Trump, China's President Xi Jinping, and the King of Spain. Iconic landmarks around the world paid tribute to Ukraine in honor of its Independence Day, including the Roman Colosseum, which was illuminated in blue and yellow as a show of solidarity. In a statement, Italy's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation called the lights a tribute to the strength and courage of the Ukrainian people. New York City also showing its support as the Empire State Building was lit up in blue and yellow on Ukraine's Independence Day. New York is home to the largest Ukrainian population in the United States, with more than 100,000 residents. This isn't the first time the city has shown its support for the war-torn country. The iconic building was also lit up in the Ukrainian flag's colors after the war began in 2022. And that is this Currents News update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Before we go, we want to say a prayer for peace for those suffering because of war. Hope to see you again next time. May today there be peace within. May you trust your highest power, that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use those gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content knowing you are a child of God. Let this presence settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, dance. It is there for each and every one of you. Amen. In a social media age, you might call him Christ's top follower. Carlo Acutis grew up during the explosion of the internet, bringing God to the World Wide Web.
Through the computer, Carlo did so many evangelization.
Now he's a viral sensation. Kids all over the world sharing and reposting his story. And it's one that could break the internet. This teenager will be the Catholic Church's first millennial saint. A saint in sneakers.
He was around our age, so we could look up to him and try to do things that he did.
But before his canonization goes live, we're taking a look back at his life, the inspo behind an entire generation of young believers.
If I follow down the same path that he went down, I could become a saint.
His growing reach from Brooklyn and Queens to all over the world. The life and legacy of God's influencer, Blessed Carlo Acutis. Tune in on Sunday, September 7th on Currents News.